Hi guys, and welcome to the first chapter of the Rocket League Handbook. This one is titled Setting Up for Success. It's meant to give you a good foundation to start hitting those sick aerials, start getting better as a player, and make it a lot easier to learn. These are just my settings. You can tweak them as you wish. I recommend these ones because it's what I've learnt on, it's what a lot of the pro streamers use, and I find that it's the easiest to manage. So we'll go straight into settings. First option is the camera settings. We want to go to field of view. I have this set to 110. I have this set to 110 so that I can see majority of the field at any given moment. I can see opponents on the other side of the field. I can see my teammates on the left and the right, so I'm not bumping them. It's a very, very important setting to have as high as you can. If you don't like it at 110, try it. Honestly, give it a try for a day. See if you can tough it out, because it will make a world of difference in your Rocket League play. Next one is distance. This is how far the camera sits behind your car. I find the further I have it away, the better it is for me to calculate the trajectory of an aerial. If the ball's up in the air and I go to hit it, it helps me to line it up. I have this set to 260. You can set it to what you want, as I say. Give it a try at this. If you don't like it, change it later. Height. We have height set to 120. This is how high the camera sits above the car. Very, very important if you go later on to learn things like aerials. Sorry, not aerials. Dribbling. So when the ball is on the hood of your car, you want to be able to see over the top of the ball to see if any opponents are coming to tackle you. That way you can either do a flick, you can do a pass, you can do a fakie. You've got so many options because you know where the opponent is. This is an important setting. Angle is pretty self-explanatory. This is just the angle that the camera sits to the car. I've got mine set to -5. Play around with it, see what's comfortable for you. Stiffness, swivel, transition, personal preference. Honestly, this isn't going to make too much difference to your play. It's just the way that the camera moves, how smooth it is. It's personal preference. Onto controls. Sensitivities, don't worry too much about them. Play with what you feel comfortable with. I have mine set to these specific values because I've got a older controller and I've got a bit of stick drift. So the reason I have 0.1 controller dead zone is because I've used my controller for so long that if I'm not holding the joystick down, it will just drift to the left. I'll start driving slightly off to the left and eventually I'll hit a wall. I've got this set to 0.1. That stops the stick drift. If you've got an older controller and you're noticing that, increase your controller dead zone. Dodge dead zone, it just depends on how sensitive you want your dodges to be. I've got mine set to 0.4. Personal preference. Onto keybindings. I have jump set to A, which by default is A. On the PlayStation controller, it is set to X. And then boost. Boost by default is set to B on the Xbox controller, and circle on the PS controller. I have this set to X, which is square on the PS controller. The reason I have this is because it makes it a bit less awkward to hit at the same time as jump. So for things like a fast aerial, I hit jump twice there, but I held boost the whole time. I can control the jump a lot easier with the back of my thumb than I can with the right-hand side or left-hand side of it. Onto Powerslide and Aero. I have these both on the same button. The only difference between Powerslide and Aero is whether you're in the air or on the ground. So if I'm on the ground, I Powerslide. If I'm in the air, I air roll. Air roll is just, as it says, rolling in the air. So you hold the air roll button, tilt your directional stick, and it will just go that way. This is important for if you're going to land on the ground and you want to land on your wheels. It helps with your recovery and getting back to the ball a lot quicker. Alright, the next setting that I have changed is the aero right. This by default is not bound to anything. I have it set to right bumper or R1 for the PlayStation controller. This is very important for later on when you start learning advanced techniques like the half flip, It's just a lot easier than holding air roll and using your joystick. It will just do a continuous right hand roll until you stop pressing it. Very important for more advanced techniques. I won't go too much into it now, but later on down the line in some of the other chapters, we will touch on this and go a bit more in depth. The final key that I have changed is the scoreboard. This is purely preference. If you want this on a different unassigned key, put it on that. I just have it on B because it's easy for me to hit, and that's all. That's the only reason I've got it set to that. The other one that I have rebound is the reset shot. This is only used in free play. Set it to whatever you want. That's it. Interface, don't need to change anything. Video and audio, put it to whatever you want. Chat keybinds, up to you. And that pretty much covers it for Chapter 1 of the Rocket League Handbook, Setting Up for Success. I hope these settings really help you guys to hit some of those harder to hit shots and get better as a player. Thanks guys for watching.